Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia, Neville Goddard mentor, taught Neville Goddard how to use the 153 code to achieve his every desire. And I'm doing the same. Greetings to all of humanity. It's really my joy, my pleasure, my honor to be serving you and teaching you how to look within, bringing this message of emancipation to you. For I can point you to look no other place but to look inwardly, for the kingdom of God is within you. And you're told that when you seek first to discover the kingdom, whenever you find the kingdom, that you will find the secret to creation, and you'll be able to create your reality. So it is said that all these things will be added unto you. And we have seen quite clearly how Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia, taught Neville Goddard how to understand the scripture and apply it in his life, and then to learn to teach it to humanity. But there has always been a code. There have always been a number that carries a message. And this number is hidden throughout the scriptures. But this code or number has the abundant frequency to teach you how to create your reality. Therefore, my brothers and my sisters, this is the appointed time for me to share with the world the mystery of 153 as it been taught in St. John chapter 21 and in other places in the New Testament and the Old Testament also. But I'm just going to share with you St. John 21. For John is the crown of scriptures. And so you're told of the story of those disciples who went fishing and was toiling all night long, but yet haven't caught anything. And so we see a display of that story in reality when Neville, in the journey of life, was toiling in the time of the Great Depression. And he wasn't catching anything at all, because the energy, vibration, and frequency in the time of 1929 right up to 1939 was a frequency of scarcity, fear, lack, limitation. Everything would have seemed to crumble, even the stock market. But there was a man who understands the language of symbology and understand the language of numerology and understand the story of St. John 21 concerning the number 153 and how to activate that energy. How to use the 153 method to uplift humanity and to teach humanity of their divinity. So here, Abdullah realized that he can use this power on the behalf of another. And so this young man, being so zealous to learn of the phenomena of life, he was willing to spend time with this rabbi, Abdullah. And so he spent 5 years studying with Abdullah. And Abdullah realized that he was throwing his net on the wrong side and that he wasn't catching anything. So Abdullah used this power on the behalf of Neville. And so Neville had this burning desire to go to Barbados without any money, without even a good suit to wear. So he went to Abdullah, and Abdullah told him to throw the net on the right side because he was throwing the net on the wrong side. Abdullah was teaching him the power of the subconscious mind. Abdullah was teaching him how it is his own thoughts that creates his reality, and that he can create his reality consciously. And that is the mystery of the story. Abdullah was teaching him that Christ is the highest level of consciousness that you will experience, and that Christ is an experience, and that Jesus as a literal man 2,000 years ago never exists. And Abdullah, who had come to the highest place of consciousness, was displaying the word in flesh, teaching him how to cast his net. So Abdullah taught Neville how to sleep in his mother's home in Barbados while residing in New York, how to go to bed in his imagination, how to use visualization, so that he would understand the 153 code, which is the code of abundance. How to get on the abundant frequency to be able to create his reality consciously. Abdullah was teaching him the secret of the universe, and was teaching him that the universe exists within. And if he can shift the world within, then he would shift his outer world. For as it is within, so is it without. As it is above, so is it below. And so Neville, when he learned to be a doer and not just a hearer, he realized that when he's just a hearer, he would deceive himself, because he would look in the mirror and go away and forget what man of man he is. But when he really look into the law of liberty and look into the mirror of life, he would discover the image of himself, and he would discover this power that creates all things within himself. And so it took 30 days before Neville can shift from the left brain thinking to the right atmosphere of his brain, or the right hemisphere, I should say, of his brain. And when he got into that atmosphere, which is that vibration that frequency, then he was able to attract a letter from Barbados from his brother with $50 because he used the 153 code. And so when Neville realized that this power lies within himself and it's all in his imagination, it started changing the way he think and the way he act. But when he went to the shipping company, he was told that he was going to travel third class. But Abdullah, who did this act on his behalf, knew that whatsoever he would have done in his imagination on behalf of Neville, that nothing in this world can change it. So he refused to accept such a report and said to Neville, "Who told you that you were going to Barbados? I told you that you're going first class." And so my brother and my sisters, when you discover this power within yourself, you did discover the power to live first class, to operate in the highest version of yourself. And so Abdullah didn't want Neville to allow the devil to steal this power away from him. So Abdullah closed the door in his face to shut out all the self-doubt. Because the devil is a self-doubt. Satan is a self-doubt. And then, when Neville went to the shipping company to board the ship, he was told, "We have good news for you." My brothers and my sisters, when you discover the 153 code, you will discover that there's good news. You will discover that the real gospel is the true salvation, which is self-realization, which is discovering your true self. And you will discover that it is within. And so he was able to travel first class and fulfill the prophecy, because the vision was already written and it was for just an appointed time, and all he had to do was wait. And that is why Habakkuk tells you, even if the vision tarry, you must wait. But you must learn to write down the vision and live from the vision. And all of that code is all over the Bible, teaching you that you are God in flesh, teaching you that you are the I am. And that is why you have to always affirm your I am with positivity, with believing in yourself. And that is why, my brother and my sisters, as I share this message with you, when I think of what is happening right here in my country, of how the people have been fed with false Christianity, pointing them to look outwardly, pointing them to believe that the Bible is literal and the Bible is secular history. And it's been taught to them from such a young age in the educational system, because they also believe in a political system. It makes me just shake my head. But this is the time of the great awakening. And this is the time that the 153 code must be known to the world. This is the time that the 153 method to abundance and prosperity must be taught to all of humanity, because this is the secret code to operate the universe within, so that you will experience on the outside and prove for yourself, according to Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and 11, that the world is downloaded in you in an invisible way. And that when you look at the vast world, it's just an outer projection of that which is within. And you will you'll come to realize that it's all an illusion, it's all imaginary, that everything exists in your imagination. For God is your own human imagination, the creator in everyone. And that is why I'm going to work as much as possible to teach this message of 153 to come in to your abundance, your inheritance, your birthright. Many people vibrated towards the law of attraction, but based on my experience, I received self-realization through the birth from above, the birth from the skull, before I ever practiced consciously the law. I received the promise before the law. But Abdullah taught Neville the law first, then he experienced the promise. And that is why, my brother and my sister, at this time, I'm bringing the teaching of the law, the true law of attraction, to you by opening up the mystery of 153. So you will be able to throw your net on the right side for a great catch, and understand that the Bible, from Genesis 1 to Revelation 22, it's all a great psychological drama. It all have to do with the human psyche. So with that being said, my brother and my sister, I want to thank you very much, and I just want to encourage you to continue to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. Now, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me and what I'm saying to you, if it's making sense to you and it's helping you, it's really resonating with you, then it is for you. So I would encourage you, if you haven't subscribed already, to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. But before I leave you, I want to let you know that this message I bring to you, that it is the single eye, yes, the single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 says that if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And my brother and my sisters, hadn't it been that that light would have opened within me in the form of that single eye, when I awake from the dream of life, and would have heard the unearthly wind and ascend like a fiery being, after that great mighty shaking, hadn't it been for that experience, I would not have been here, bring this message to you. For when I had that experience, whereby I ascend, I rolled the stone away and came out and became invisible, became one with the wind. When I burst my crown chakra and come to experience the real virgin birth, come to experience the true resurrection, then I knew that the greatest lie that has been ever fed to humanity is the virgin birth story, whereby it was fed to humanity as if it is secular history. But I'm saying to you, the mystery lies within you. And one day you will awake from the dream of life and understand why you're told that you shall change from mortal to immortality in a twinkling of an eye. For that twinkling of an eye is an opening of an eye in you. And that is why I always say to you, do not let anyone deceive you or brainwash you to make you believe that the eye above the pyramid and the US dollar is an evil symbol. No, it is the symbol of the all-seeing eye of God in you, who is your imagination, for you would have an awakened imagination. It is also the eye of the mystics, the eye of the prophet, the seers, those who will go beyond the skull and come into true self-realization and teach the message of true salvation. And that is why I always put my hand above my crown chakra and show you the symbol of the single eye, saying to you that when you have the experience, you come to realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N, and that it is the dawning of a new day in your life. For the sun, as in the S-U-N, parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun, there is no life, and there is no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. And you're told in Psalm 84:11 that the Lord thy God is a sun and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. And the sun has never ever withhold its energy from you. For the sun is what powers all of humanity. And in Malachi chapter 4 verses 2, you're also told that the Son of righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wings. And after that sun has risen in me with healing in his wings, I decided to bring healing to all of humanity. That's why my encouragement to you is to look inwardly and use your mind power, which is your solar power, your sun power, your God power, your creative power, which is actually the sexual power. Use that power to achieve your every desire, as Abdullah taught Neville Goddard to throw the net on the right side and prove this power. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.